Everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at the FAANG stocks. So we're going to take a look at Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. Okay, so congrats to everybody that caught the bounce video from last night. So I put out the video showing that the charts were setting up for a potential bounce. The close is below 20 on Fasto, was a signal that this was a very oversold condition and right for a technical bounce. And so first up, we're going to look at Facebook, and you can see here it closed slightly up on the day. So that was a big victory after being down to 149 at the low of day. So that was a huge rally off the bottom. You can see it had closed at, I believe it was 29 on RSI on Friday. Now that's back above 30. And so there was a big drop on Friday with the close below the lower Bollinger Band and below that 300-day simple moving average, the blue line at 162. And so today there was a huge bounce. You can see down here off of the July support level. So it hit this 150 support zone and bounced. Look at the long lower wick on today's candle. That was huge rally off the bottom. So there was heavy loading off of low of day. Today a bullish reversal pattern did form, bullish homing pigeon reversal pattern. And so we will be looking for bullish reversal confirmation. The key level to break is going to be that 300-day simple moving average I just talked about at 162, and then the pink line EMA4 at 163 at 163.34 currently. Once there's a close above both those levels, that would be a signal that it's ready to reverse. If EMA4 remains resistance and it fails to get above the 300-day simple moving average, that would signal downside risk. Right now the candles are working their way back into the bands. Look at the huge volume down here. So there's giant volume behind the move. If you look here at the Facebook weekly chart, you could see here that there was a weekly close last week below the 50-week moving average, and the last time there was a close below that level, you can see that the candles got right back above. And so that's what the bulls need to see here is the share price getting back above that 50-week moving average at 169.34. It will be a red flag if it turns into resistance. Right now the candles are already forming below that middle Bollinger Band at 179, and so Facebook is in downtrend on the weekly chart, and so it has to get above that 50-week moving average and above EMA4 at 168 to get that reversal going. You can see the long bounce here, the long lower wick on this week's candle, and the bounce off of the 100-week moving average at 147.42. That is the key level to hold. If there was a drop below that 100-week moving average, that would signal major downside risk, and you could see it work all the way down there to that 200-week moving average. So the bottom line is it needs to the candles this week, as you can see, this entire candle is forming below the lower Bollinger Band. So this is an extremely oversold condition. You had Fasto up here was below 20, and so now it's bouncing, getting back above 20, and then you have the Fasto above 20, and then RSI down here. Okay, yeah. So basically, Facebook is trying to bounce this week. Now keep in mind this week's weekly candlestick will not set until the closing bell on Friday, so a lot can change between now and then. And right now on the what makes Facebook look set up is the 15-minute chart. Okay, it had a close above that green line today, and that right at the close, that's the 50 simple moving average at 158.90. If it can stay above that level, then that'll signal that it's still in play. If it drops back below that 50 simple moving average in the 15-minute chart, then it will be a risk to hold. As you can see back here on the 21st, it got above the green line, stalled out at the yellow line, the 100 simple moving average, and then once it dropped back below the green line, that was a major red flag. It wasn't ready to go, and you can see a big drop followed. So if you're trading this long and you're a bull, it has to stay above the green line to stay in play. Now the next big level to break above is going to be that 100-week moving average, or the 100 simple moving average that it's struggled with on the 21st. If it can get above 163.50, that would signal more upside potential. Notice the giant volume spike on the close and the big bounce off of low of day. You know, it was strong into the all the way into the close. Okay, let's look at Amazon here. So Amazon had that big bounce after closing, was super low on Fasto on Friday. That close below 20 was a buy signal. Anytime you see a FAANG stock close below 20 on Fasto, it's paid off to buy. It's been a simple buy signal. It's an oversold condition. Every single single time it's happened. August, it bounced, it traded sideways a little bit, but then it ended up getting above. It's just paid to load FAANG stocks when they get below 20 on Fasto on the daily chart. So keep that in mind, at least for a technical bounce play. And so today with Amazon, it got back above that middle Bollinger Band. So now it's above 1549.82. It needs to stay above that level. If it stays above 1550, that would be bullish. If it drops back below, that's going to be a red flag. If the middle Bollinger Band turns into resistance, then we would be talking about a drop down to the 50-day simple moving average at 1460 in that lower Bollinger Band. If both levels hold, then we'll be talking about retracing back up to that all-time high and that 1600 level. So it's really important that it stays above 1550. Okay, so let's look at, and today a bullish reversal pattern formed today. Bullish one white soldier. So this is a nice reversal pattern. We will be looking for bullish reversal confirmation. As you can see, the white candle, it forms when the open is above the close from Friday, and then it closed above the open from Friday. So this is a nice strong move. We'll see if it can follow through. If you look at the 15-minute chart, it closed right at one of the key levels. It closed right at that 200 simple moving average at 1556. If it can break above that level, then we'll be looking for a run up here to that 300 simple moving average at 1568. That's the big level on the chart. It has to get above that level and turn it into support to head higher. It's always that top moving average on the 15-minute chart. And then once it turns into support, that's when it's bullish and it can really take off. If it hits this 1568 level and stalls out, or it fails to get above 1555, those are red flags that this is a temporary top and that it could consolidate. It needs to stay above the 100 simple moving average at 1545. A drop below 1545 would be a red flag. Okay, so let's look at the Apple chart. So Apple had a nice bounce today as well. It closed up 4.75%. Now it's back above 20 on Fasto. As you can see here, it had that technical bounce after hitting the below 20. It did stay pegged below 20 for a couple days. Now it's filled. The gap was filled. As you can see, there was a gap between these two candles that filled last week on Friday, and then today there's this nice technical bounce. The candles worked their way back into the bands. There was a close above EMA4 at 170.67. It has to stay above this pink line to remain in play. If it drops back below 170, it'll be a red flag, and it really now needs to stay above the green and gold line. That's the 50 and 100-day simple moving averages. So basically it needs to stay above 172. Hold that 172 level, and then EMA 13 at 173.48 will be the next level to break. It closed at 173 in after hours trading. So if it stalls out at 173.50, that could be a red flag that this was just a one-day type of bounce. Because what we're looking for with all these FAANG stocks is follow through today. Or tomorrow. We need to see follow through. Today was the nice setup. We have bullish reversal patterns across the board, or confirmation for a couple of them coming up. But the bottom line is we need follow through to show that this is a legit bounce and it wasn't just a one-day move. And so a break above 173.50 would be your clue that, okay, yeah, this is really happening. And then you'd be looking for a run up to the middle Bollinger Band at 175.92. Keep in mind, Apple does present tomorrow, and so they have a presentation coming, and so we'll be seeing if they unveil any new products. Let's look at the reversal pattern. It formed bullish one white soldier. We talked about that earlier. That's where the open is above the close, and then the close is above the, so we just explained that. And so yeah, so you got the nice bullish one white soldier, and then you have the 15-minute chart here for Apple, and you can see it had that super strong run. It did not cool down. After it spiked at the open, it got above the green line, which is the 50 simple moving average, and then they pulled it back. They drove it all the way back below the middle Bollinger Band, and it looked like it might start to continue that downtrend. As you can see on the chart, the green line has been the major resistance level. It kept on failing to break, but when it finally got above here at 1 o'clock and at 12:30 and turned it into support, that was your signal. Okay, yeah, it's really happening. And so it's turning that it's a change. This 1 o'clock candle was a change in trend because it looked like it could have been another another pullback with how this has been working, but it held above and pushed forward, and then it closed above the 100 simple moving average, 170.25, and so then the next key level it broke into the close was high close horizontal resistance from the 22nd at 172.50. It closed above that level, and then it ended up making near high of day close, just below. Right now it's at 173. I think 173.10's high of day. The next key level to break above is going to be the 200 simple moving average at 173.54. So if you see it struggling with 173.50 and failing to get above that level, that's going to be a red flag tomorrow. If it gets above 173.50, like we were talking about earlier, and then gets above 174, the big target's going to be the 300 simple moving average at 175.84. That will be the big target to break. You could see there was lots of green volume bars into the close with heavy call buying today, call option buying today for Apple. Okay, let's look at Netflix. So Netflix had a big move today as well. It closed up 6.5%. This is a giant move for Netflix. It bounced right off of 50 on RSI, so it remained bullish. That close below 20, that was a buy signal. That was your signal. Okay, yeah, this is really overdone. It went from literally up here in the 90s all the way down to near zero, and so that was a signal. This is due for a technical bounce, and this works. This type of thing works for penny stocks. Let alone if you have a FAANG stock that's below 20. I mean, that's a pretty good setup. Just because it doesn't happen very often, and historically it's always been followed by bounces, and so yeah, as you could see here, 3 red candles in a row, and then it held 300. That's the big level to hold. It needs to stay above 300, but really the big level now, it got back above that middle Bollinger Band. That's at 312.85. If it stays above 313, that will be bullish. Okay, now it's hitting the closing price here on the 14th. If it can get above this 320 zone, then you're looking back at this all-time high here at 330 is the next level to break. I mean, this was all doom and gloom, and Netflix could be retesting the all-time highs here. So yeah, keep an eye on 320.50. If that turns into resistance, that would be a red flag. As you can see here, there was a bullish engulfing reversal pattern that formed, okay, on the 20th. Okay, so there's a red candle and this white candle engulfed the red candle. It formed a bullish reversal pattern. That was followed by 3 red candles. But today, the pattern was confirmed. As you can see, there was a close above the previous candles, and so above the pattern, and so that confirmed the pattern. And so this is a very strong reversal pattern. And so there was confirmation today, and so that was good follow through. It took a couple days to pay off, but now it really has to. It's back in this zone. As you can see, many candles have hit this 320. 50 zone, 320.35 zone, right in this range. It has to break above to head higher. If it struggles with this level, it could signal a temporary top. If you look at the Netflix 15-minute chart, this was the strongest of the FAANG stocks on the 15-minute chart. It busted out above all the moving averages. Check out how they drove it down, near the low on Friday. It came all the way down to the bottom, and that provided, a really good opportunity, a trading opportunity for people that were able to load down here off of 302 and 303. The people that got this zone down here, that was the big money zone. You could see the big volume. There was some big loading down here, and then they really ran it. It got above the middle Bollinger Band, above the 50 simple moving average, the 100 simple moving average, the 200 simple moving average, and the 300 simple moving average. It busted above all those levels, and then it busted above high close resistance from the 20th and the 21st, and then now it's hitting over here on the resistance zone from back here between the 14th and the 16th, and so if it can get above this 321 level, okay, the big level to break is going to be up here, this red line at 324. So a break above 321 should set up a possible run up there to 324. There's going to be resistance in between here, but that 324 is the big level. This is a huge move for Netflix. Look at the giant volume spike into the close, and we there has been they were the markets are trading higher in futures trading tonight. Things can change at any time, but in tonight in futures trading, the Nasdaq is up. We'll see if it can hold on to the gains into the morning. Let's check out Google here. Google closed up 2.68%. This is another huge move. This is an 11th month chart. Check out how the FASTO here, okay, each time it got below, it stayed below in August, and as I said before, that was the anomaly in the last video. Is it gonna stay pegged below, or is it gonna bounce back? And it did get the snapback, so that makes 4 out of the last 5 times that Google has dropped below 20 on I guess there's another time right there, but you get my point. When it drops below, it has a good chance of bouncing, and that did happen again today. It had the bounce off of the 200-day simple moving average. That's the same level it bounced off of on that February pullback, and so that did hold. As long as 1024 supports holding that red line, that's going to be the reload zone. Once there's a drop below that level, that's going to signal major downside risk, and you're going to see Google drop below 1,000 and test that 300-day simple moving average at 976. So that would be major red flag. Now there was a bullish reversal confirmation today. Google did form bullish 3 gap downs reversal pattern, okay, and so now that pattern did get confirmed today with the white candle. Wasn't very strong confirmation, but look at the long lower wick on today's candle. There was a lot of loading off of low day, like I just showed. Now it's still below the pink line. That's EMA4 at 1058.50. It has to close above that level to get the reversal going. If you look back here at Apple, you can see how it closed above the pink line. Google is still below the pink line, so it needs to get above. If it fails to get above that EMA4, that's going to signal the bears are still in control. Okay, so this is a short cover rally today, but it needs follow through. It has to close above, and then if it does, that's when you're looking at a run up to EMA8 and the 100-day simple moving average at 1086. Okay, now let's look at the 15-minute chart for Google to finish it up with, and you can see the very long downtrend here. You can see how it busted below the bottom of the channel, and it hit that 1015 zone. It's still in this downtrend channel. Okay, it did break above the middle Bollinger Band at 1030, and then it got above that 50 simple moving average at 1041, the green line. That was the bullish move. Okay, that was, if you're waiting, that move above the 50 simple moving average, that was your signal. Okay, it's in play. As long as it stays above that level, you can keep riding. If it drops below, that'll make it a risk to hold. Above, what you're looking for is a break above these two levels. The 100 simple moving average at 1060. You notice how that was resistance. It's been a tough level to break. And then also this descending resistance line. They're both lined up in the similar zone, 1060, 1065. A close above both of those levels would be very bullish, and there's a good chance it would run up here and fill the gap. There's a gap between low of day on the 21st and high of day on the 22nd, and so a run up here to this 200 simple moving average at basically at 1089 would fill the gap. Okay, thank you very much for viewing this video. If you'd like to learn more about charts and technical analysis, come check out our chat. I'll post the link below the YouTube video. Thank you.